What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, I'm going to share the best AI tools every interior designer should be using in 2026. And honestly, these are the tools that genuinely going to change the way you work. And I'm not talking about ChatGPT or Midjourney here anymore, guys. What I'm going to cover are specific AI tools for visualization and rendering tools for interior design, productivity tools that will help us on admin that interior designers like us will have to go through, and even the hidden AI features inside everyday design tools like Adobe Photoshop that you guys probably didn't even realize it existed. It is 2026, guys, and this year, forget about all the manual traditional work we used to do, and we're actually going to learn this AI and use it in our workflow. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mia, and I'm an interior designer based in London, and on my channel, I share everything related to interior design and lifestyle, quite heavily on AI recently. So if that's something that you're interested, I would love for you to stick around and also subscribe. That would be even better. Right, so I made a similar video beginning of the last year as well, which included ChatGPT, Midjourney, Canva, Notion, and so on, which are probably the most well-known and also quite basic AI tools that interior designers should be using. So if you haven't started this already, make sure to check my videos out and get started on this, okay? But throughout last year, I've been approached by quite a few AI tools specifically for interior designers, and I've tested a lot. And what I found it as the best of the best AI tools made it into this video today. These tools can honestly enhance your workflow, save time, improve your creativity, and honestly help you to work smarter, not harder. So if you guys are ready, let's begin. So the first app I'm going to show you is called Rendair, and Rendair creates realistic images like this from prompts, sketches, even from your SketchUp model, and turn them into high quality render. This app is so good because we spend so many hours in rendering tools, and now I can do this in seconds, like just by myself. I'm an interior designer, but I don't create render by myself. So this app is super quick because I don't need to ask someone like a visualizer to do a changes that I ask or the client asks. I can do it, everything in Rendair. And we might not use this for the final render, but the quality is up there. So when I want to see a different furniture and different finishes, or when the client asks, oh, can you change this to this, but in the same rendering, I can skip the part of asking the visualizer, spending hours for these changes when we don't even know if that's going to be the final design. So you can basically see different options before we commit to the final render, and I save time and even resources because asking someone for professional rendering can be expensive and time consuming. Rendair is about €19 a month, and you can even use my code for 10% off. So definitely check out if you're interested. I'll leave the code on the description below. Next AI is also a visualization tool, and it's called ReRender. And this is also one of my favorite AI tools for rendering and visualization. You can create really strong, high quality visuals, but the reason I love this ReRender goes beyond just how good the image looks. What sets it apart is the level of control, I think. You can change materials so easily, and there's a lot of options for the AI specifically for interior designers' workflow. You can also keep adding layers to adjust one thing at the time, so the control is really, really good on this app. For example, you have an existing space and you can completely empty out the space without changing the whole architectural elements, and then restyle it step by step. And I think ReRender has the top quality at the moment on not destroying the original elements of the space. This is incredibly powerful because removing or changing a major element in this space used to take a lot of time. And because there's so many AI's rendering tools now, when I personally look for which AI to use, I look for the detail and customization and accuracy of the details. A lot of the AI tools can now generate beautiful images, but when it's accuracy and detail, I think ReRender comes to the top. For example, with ChatGPT, you might ask to change one single element in the space, and they might change that, but also change the background suddenly. And with ReRender, that doesn't happen. It has the customization and accuracy, and the level of control is non-negotiable. So the next tool I want to show you is Nano Banana. Nano Banana is something that really came onto my radar towards the end of the last year, and it's definitely a tool that I want to spend more time on exploring this year. So Nano Banana is not actually created for interior designers or for architects in that respect, but it's much stronger model than ChatGPT for sure. And if you ever get used to ChatGPT for image editing, you'll know how frustrating it can be. As I said earlier, you ask to change one thing and it does that, but it also removes elements you want to keep. And by the time that like 10 prompts in, you've already lost like the first image. Like it keeps changing, right? So that's the frustration we have with ChatGPT. For example, they don't read the space accurately, so you get this image that the sofa and like the chair is so close to the coffee counter where people can't order. It just doesn't understand the sense of space. But with Nano Banana, it understands the spatial requirements. It's a lot more intelligent in that respect. So I've tried testing out this Nano Banana, for example, and you can see that it actually works as same as like ChatGPT. So you type in the space, and I've created this like Scandinavian coffee shop, let's say, and it creates this beautiful image. And now I've asked to remove the furniture, and it does that without changing the architectural elements, which is cool. And now I wanted to change the rug and change the pendant, and it just does that without distorting the other elements or changing the other elements. So it has the consistency. It also reads the space really well, so it doesn't sort of like come up with a random like layout all of the sudden. It keeps the original image accurate, which is quite neat. Having said that, I want to be completely honest about Nano Banana. I think because it's owned by Google, it's not specifically made for interior designers and architects, so there's less, I guess, editing tools or like a control button compared to Rendair or ReRender. So you have to kind of rely on the text prompt still, which is very powerful compared to ChatGPT. But I guess what I'm saying is like there isn't like a control button and editing options in my opinion yet. You can't like highlight a certain area, which you could do in ReRender and Rendair with like, you know, like a editing tool, but you can't. You just have to rely on the text and like the ability to create a prompt onto the AI. So in that respect, I guess it's not really up there compared to other rendering tools, but I think the reason I'm mentioning this is because Nano Banana gives you access to these for free. So everyone can use it. You don't have to pay for it, although you can go to pro account, but I think the free version still gives you a lot of access to the things that you already need as an interior designer. So definitely worth checking them out this year. Moving on to the productivity AI, and honestly, this is where AI has helped me so much last year. Granola is the meeting note taker that helps us truly focus on a video call rather than clicking back and forth across like 2 different tabs to take notes, for example. It automatically records, transcribes, and summarizes any meetings that you're on, pulling out the key decisions and action points. Most of these AI tools require a meeting like robot to join the call, which can be quite distracting and makes people nervous in a call. But in contrast, Granola does not join or record the calls, so instead transcribes your computer's audio. Obviously, you need to check with your company and with your clients if using this app is okay during the meeting. But these apps, once they convert this transcription into notes, it's formatted in a really user-friendly way for internal meetings and creates summary for what was agreed in a meeting that you can actually keep for your record or share with your clients afterwards. So it's very, very helpful. I usually review the summary straight away after this call and drop the task like directly into my workflow. And this alone has helped me so much time rather than writing a long email or taking a note separately. Now, actually, I can stay focused on a meeting and be present rather than forgetting or trying to remember what's been said on the meeting. Another AI tool I use for transcription is Notta AI, and I use this a lot, mainly when I want to summarize a video that I'm watching on YouTube. I use this often when I'm like researching a new tool or gathering information for presentation and writing my own content for YouTube. Notta records the audio and instantly converts into text, so you can use it directly in your content without having to like go back to the video over and over again to take notes yourself. I actually use this heavily when I'm planning on my YouTube ideas because it helps me pull out the structure, talking points, and key ideas without wasting time. For example, instead of like rewatching the same scene that I want to capture over and over, I can just get it a transcript, highlight what matters, and rewrite into my own words using ChatGPT. So if you're also someone who does the research, presentation, write content a lot, Notta AI is the game changer. Another AI tool that I love using recently is called Snipd, and this is actually for podcast listeners and also someone who doesn't have time. It generates transcripts on every single podcast that you might listen to, and if you hear something that you're interested in, you can create a snip, then AI will figure it out what was just being said and will turn that into a takeaway or a highlight that you can then save, and this makes it easier to remember stuff. Since you're probably doing something else while you're listening on podcasts, like I might be walking to the station or going to the work or doing some laundry, it's just another easy tool that you can use to capture in that moment before you forget. So if you're listening to like a design or a business or architecture podcast, you can clip ideas and come back to them later before forgetting or without re-listening to the whole episode. Moving on to the design tools, so Copilot, I'm sure you've heard of it, it's a Google AI tool, has also launched this 3D AI that converts any object, image, or text into 3D object in seconds that you can actually bring it back to SketchUp. So let's say, have you ever wanted this specific chair that you found on Pinterest or from your favorite furniture shop, but you can't find the 3D object because they don't have them on the website, or you're scrolling like the 3D warehouse or 3D object website and you just can't find them. Now you can go to this Copilot 3D tool and you can drop the image into this AI and it will create a pretty good model that you can download and bring it into the SketchUp model. This is pretty powerful because Copilot is also free, so now you don't have to pay for the model as well. So definitely keep this in back of your mind because there will be a time when you probably need this AI. Then the last tool, moving on to the Photoshop. So Adobe has also started to integrate a bunch of AI tools to fasten your process. So if you're still editing like this, we are definitely moving away from that this year. So in Photoshop, there is a feature called Generative AI. And with this tool, you can erase objects so easily and fill the space so seamlessly. And now it's even better because now it's connected to Nano Banana. So you can use the chat box tool as well and ask Photoshop directly. For example, change the color of the fabric to specific raw color, and it does that, which is super quick. That was all for today's video. I hope this was helpful. I think the biggest takeaway for me is that AI is still not going to replace the designer, but it is here to support us, save time, and also makes us focus more on creativity and decision making. I would love to know which one of the AIs you're thinking about using this year. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and also make sure to subscribe to my channel. That'll be even better. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.